Cancer Clinical Trials, Part 4, The Value of Cancer Clinical Trials. Cancer clinical trials are used to help evaluate an experimental cancer treatment to find out if it is safe and effective. Ultimately, these trials determine whether the new treatment should be added to the standard therapies available for use. Clinical trials are responsible for so many important advances in the treatment of cancer. Before we continue, let's take a quick look at a few of them. 90% of Hodgkin's lymphoma cases can now be cured, regardless of whether diagnosis occurs at an early or advanced stage, because of improvements in chemotherapy. Cervical cancer can now be prevented thanks to the HPV or human papillomavirus vaccine. Immune checkpoint inhibitors and CAR T-cell therapies are helping the immune system to recognize and fight various cancers. Almost 100% of men with advanced testicular cancer can now be cured with a 3-drug regimen consisting of the anti-tumor agent bleomycin plus 2 chemotherapies. Most cases of chronic myelogenous leukemia or CML can be sent into long-term remission with targeted therapy. In fact, using precision oncology, we can now target specific mutations seen in many types of cancer. And the quality of life for people receiving chemotherapy has improved thanks to anti-nausea drugs. All of these advances were brought about by clinical trials and the patients with their doctors who participated in them. There are several benefits for the participants in cancer clinical trials. If you want to play a more active role in your healthcare, participating in a clinical trial is educational, informative, and helps you to better understand your cancer and its treatment. When there is no effective therapy for your cancer, or when standard therapies have stopped working, a clinical trial could potentially give you access to an experimental treatment that may help you. Many trials include biomarker testing to assess the genetic or molecular makeup of your cancer. The results help identify the likelihood of success with specific types of treatment. You will also be more closely monitored in a clinical trial. While your oncologist will likely still provide your overall cancer care, you will be closely observed by the trial team. That's partly because they need to be sure the information they get from the trial is accurate and complete. They are also very familiar with the new therapy being tested. And finally, you'll know you are helping to contribute to cancer research. Regardless of the success of a trial, the information gathered adds to scientific knowledge and can potentially lead to the approval of new and better treatments. As with any drug, there may be risks associated with the experimental treatments used in clinical trials. These risks include side effects both known and unknown, the possibility that the treatment may not work as the researchers had hoped, and/or that the treatment may not work for you. A member of the study team will carefully explain these potential risks before you sign the informed consent discussed at length in Part 3 of this video series. Weighing the risks and benefits of a clinical trial is a very personal process. There is no right or wrong answer. Only you can decide if a trial is right for you. Just remember that trials are voluntary. You can refuse to participate or withdraw at any time without any penalties. A message from CancerCare. Learn more and watch other videos in this series at www.cancercare.org/clinicaltrials. CancerCare provides free resource navigation, individual counseling and support groups over the phone, virtually and in person, with oncology social workers and resource navigators who specialize in helping people affected by cancer. To talk with one of our social workers, call 1-800-813-HOPE. That's 1-800-813-4673. Our social workers can help you navigate the emotional, practical, and financial challenges of cancer. To search for clinical trials, you can visit the National Cancer Institute website at www.cancer.gov/clinicaltrials or call 1-800-4-CANCER. That's 1-800-422-6237. You can also use the Trial Finder tool at mytrialist.org or scan the QR code. You may want to ask your healthcare team some questions, such as, what is the purpose of this trial? What kinds of tests and treatments are involved? How long will the study last? Is a hospital stay required? How do the possible risks, side effects, and benefits of the study compare with my current treatment? Are there other drugs or supplements I will be required to take during the trial? And will the results of the trial be shared with me? The information presented in this video is provided for your information only. It is not intended as a substitute for medical advice. We encourage you to take information and questions to your healthcare provider.